Single mothers that are dating for themselves are selfish.
Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me.
You are now tuned in with knowledge on Straight Bourbon Talk. Grab your glass, take a seat, and be present. Yeah, single mothers that date for themselves are selfish. As a parent, you owe your child everything, especially for them first 18 years. You are responsible for them. Yes, there should be a father there, or there is a father there, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, you was part of the process of making that child, so you owe them. You owe them everything. You know what I mean? I feel like as a single mother, you shouldn't even be dating for yourself. Yes, you matter, but you aren't the priority on the list of dating. When you're looking for a man, you shouldn't even be looking for a man that fits you pre-child. Let's say that pre-children you shouldn't even be looking for that same type of man. Realistically, you should be looking for a father for your children and a man for you. It should be both of them with the priority being your children. A lot of women, a lot of single mothers are dating a man that's fit for them while they still have children or a child in the house. That's not cool. That's not fair. It is completely selfish. That child matters most. And some single mothers might say, well, a man can step up and be a father figure or be stepdaddy, whatever it is, if he wants to. And that might be a bonus. Nah. That shouldn't even be acceptable. As a single mother, that should be a priority. You shouldn't even be allowing no man in your life on no serious tip that is not ready to be a father figure to your child or children. He might have children or, a child or children himself. So you might have to step up and be, a mother figure for them children as well. How can y'all move as one? How can you move as a unit if he isn't even been a father to your children? So what's going to happen? Y'all going to go out to dates or dinner on vacations and going to say, get your children. Instead of getting our children, let's say I do get married. So now they still your children. It's still an option whether you want to be father or don't want to be father. But as long as you're taking care of me, treating me, wining and dining me, attending to my needs, then it's fine. Nah, it don't work like that. And let's be realistic here. As a mother with mother instincts, you're going to have a problem if that man in your life is not adhering to, complying with that father figure role for your children. That shouldn't, like I said, that shouldn't even be an option. That man should be required to be a father figure to them children. If you are a single mother, if the father is in the life, but y'all just not together, so y'all co-parenting, by all means, whatever that man that's in your life do is completely extra. It is completely extra. At the same time, that man should still hold himself with respect. That man should still be an example for them children. He shouldn't be doing things that you wouldn't want your children doing when they get older, or even now, for whatever, for that, even that matter. So a man that comes in your life, they should meet some prereqs, like college, like a job, almost a business, whatever it is. You have to meet some prereqs. So when you fill out for a job, they got the primary qualifications, they got the secondary or bonus qualifications that you can have, but them primary, you have to meet those. You have to have a bachelor's degree. You have to have a master's degree. You have to have a nursing degree. You may have to have 4 years in management, 4 years in nursing, 4 years in mechanical engineering. Whatever it is, you have to meet those prereqs to get that job. You have to meet those prereqs in college to get to that next course. You can't just have bonus features all down here. Oh, he's a good man. Oh, he makes good money. Oh, he treats me really well. He's able to listen to me. He's able to communicate with me. All this bonus stuff, that fluff is good. Don't get me wrong at all. But again, those are bonus. Those matter. However, they're bonuses. Those prereqs should be met. Is he willing to be a father for my children? That should be a prereq. That should be a primary qualification, a primary this is a must. You must be willing to be a father figure to my children. You must be a father figure material to begin with, because some men they either know it or maybe they don't know it, but they aren't even father figure material. Like maybe they didn't have a father. Hello. Maybe they didn't have a father, and that's why they're not able to be a father. And this is, this rolls over to the fact that single mothers need to be looking for a man that's willing to be a father to their children. We know people, we might be products of it ourselves. But even if you aren't a product of it, let's say you did have your father in your life, or you did have a father in your life, or a father figure in your life. You might think, I'm good, I ain't gotta worry about that. Like, you're not bothered by it. I'm guaranteeing it that you know someone, and you know many people around you, and your family, your friends, and just people that you ran into that didn't have that father figure, that didn't have a father in their life at all, and they was raised by a single mother, and you can see the effect that it had on them. And then you might be 20, 30, 40, 50 years old right now, and you can still see the effect it has on them. So it's not like for 18 years, if they don't have a father, they're good, they got a great mother, I'm a superwoman, and this, and that. I'm not knocking what you've done, single mothers. Keep doing it. I'm proud of all single mothers that's doing it. I don't like this when single mothers think that they're all the child needs, though, because you're not. You are not. You do a good job, great job. Hand clap to you, much love to you. However, those children, and it could be a little boy or a little girl, those children need a man in their life. Just like they need their mother in their life, they need a father in their life. It's a balance thing. One cannot do both. A mother cannot raise a young boy to be a man. I don't care what anyone says. A mother cannot raise a little boy to be a man. She can raise a little boy for sure. Like she has to, right? She can raise a little boy, but she can't raise him to be a man because he's not a man. As a man, I can't raise a little girl to be a young woman. I can raise her. I can try my best to make her ladylike, instill core values and all the love into her that I possibly can, to tell her how to be feminine and this and this and that. But I can't really tell her how to be a woman because I'm not a woman. So the only thing I'm going based off of is what I heard, what I observed, and what I've learned over time throughout life. But I don't have the instincts of a woman because I'm not a woman. I don't have those feelings of a woman and those emotions that a woman have because I'm not a woman. So I can try my best to do the best I possibly can, but I cannot raise a little girl to be a woman. Just like a woman cannot raise a little boy to be a man. So our single mothers need to wake up, open their eyes, and accept that it's okay to want a man, to want a father for our children. It's no shame to you. That doesn't mean that you tapped out, that you folded, that you're weak, that you need somebody to feel whole. And I'm not saying you don't, because I believe man need woman, woman need man. We all need somebody. But that's another story. What I'm saying is that as single mothers, you have to make it a priority to find a man that's willing to be a father to those children, that's willing to be that, and to be respectful to those children and in front of those children. Some single mothers bring in these men that are doing no good, all wrong, and they're wondering why their children are affected the way they are. So you got nurture versus nature. So you got the genetics, you have the environmental factors, a product of your environment. So you got all these things that are shaping the person to be who they are. And you want to control the raising of your children as much as you possibly can. So as a single mother, you want to do everything you can to shape your child to be the best they possibly can. Then you also need that father to help you with that. With that being said, you have to bring a man in your life, allow a man in your life that's willing to fill that role. Not just fill the role of making you happy, Because a mother making you happy should be being a father to those children. That should make you happy. That should make you love a man even more. Seeing that bond that this man has with your children, he's loving them, he's taking them on as his own. He's spending that time with them. He's pouring into them so they can have a better future. That should make you want that man even more. That should make you appreciate, value, and love that man even more. Y'all bond as a whole family that is, should grow even stronger. It shouldn't be no optional thing. Like, it shouldn't be an option at all. You know, so it's like, a lot of people think, especially in the black community, a lot of people in the black community think that they're breaking a cycle. Oh, we're breaking a cycle. We in the generational curses. We doing this, peace and that, and vibes and energy. And no, we're not even scratching the surface on breaking a cycle. Not even close. A lot of black people in the black, a lot of people in the black community, they might touch one thing, maybe two, as far as breaking a cycle. And those things that they're doing, that they're changing, really aren't even affecting the future. It's more so affecting the right now. And again, you talking about generational curses, right? You talking about breaking a cycle, right? Generational curses and cycles are now based on the past. So we got to look in the past and see what was occurring in the past to see how we got here where we are right now. So if you're focusing on the right now, and the things you're doing is really only affecting the right now, then you're not breaking a generational curse. Again, generational. That means after you, that means before you, that means where we're in now. You can't break a generational curse if you're doing something that affects you only right now. You can't, you're talking about breaking cycles. How are you going to break the cycle when the biggest thing that we can control, as breeders, some people label us as breeders, so be it. The biggest thing we can control as breeders are our children, or non-children for that matter. Because if you don't want children, or you can't have children, that part isn't even as effective to you because you don't want them for whatever reason. That's fine, and you can't have them, and that's unfortunate if you want them. So I'm sorry to hear that. For those that can have children and that do have children by choice, I'm not talking about the mishaps. So if something happened in your past where you had a child that you didn't want, I understand. I'm sorry to hear that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to target only the people that had their children by choice. These people that are having their child by choice, that is the first and most important thing we can do to break the cycle, to break the generational curses. That's when the balls start rolling. Like before, pre-children, you're not really breaking many cycles. There's not many cycles you can break because you're not creating the next generation. You're not pouring into the next generation. So once you have those children, now you're shaping the next generation. Now you're showing them what happened in your past, what generational curses you experienced and that are currently going on. This is what we're going to do to break it. This is what we're going to do to make sure that we succeed in our life, we succeed in the future, and the next generations to come after you, my child, will be well off. They'll be set in a better position. So it's funny to me that when people say they're breaking generational curses and they're breaking the cycles, that they're not starting with their children. The thing you have the most control over, that's what you have the most control over, is the raising and the upbringing of your children, your household. If you don't have no control over your household, that's a bigger problem in itself. You should have some control in your household, or you might want to have many of conversations with yourself and with your partner in the household and figure some things out. However, I'm letting you know now, if you don't have control, take control. Take control of your household, get things together, pour into your children. Keep pouring into them. And when the cup run over, pour into them some more. Because if you don't fill that cup, somebody will. Trust me. Somebody will fill that cup, and it might be some things in them recipes they put in them cups that you don't like. And guess what? It's hard to pour it out, because once you pour another liquid, let's say you got water in a cup and somebody put a little bit of red juice in that water, that whole cup is now tainted red. So picture trying to extract that red from that water. That ain't happening. It ain't happening. So picture your child. You pouring into your child, but you're not filling that cup. So somebody else put it in that cup, and now you seeing it. You want to pour it out. You want to pull it out of there. Well, now the ball is rolling. This generational curse stuff we talking about all day, every day, is rolling. Now let's see how you gonna pour that red up out that cup. Because that ain't gonna happen. And if it do, it's gonna be very, very, very hard to dilute that cup back to clear water the way it was in the beginning. It's gonna be very, very hard. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, take control of your household. Pour into your children. Make sure that the man you are dating, single mothers, make sure the men you are dating are trusting and respectful to you, your household, and to your children. That they're honest. They have integrity. They have morals. They have values. And I have plenty to go on the list. But those 6 are very, very important. Our future is right now. I know that sounds very crazy saying our future is right now, because I say the future, and I'm talking about the present. Our future is right now. Right now. And we're living for the right now, but we should be living for the future. So single mothers are okay with dating a man that's good right now, or that's good for them. But they're not thinking about, my child has a life to live, and then they're going to have a life they're going to have children to live a life as well. You got to think about the future. You got to think, this man needs to be good for me, needs to be good for my children and their children, because hopefully they're going to be grandpa, right? Hopefully they live long enough to be grandpa. And if you haven't seen it, open your eyes a little bit. Ask around. You will hear it. You will hear how the children don't want their children with their parents. So the children don't want their child seeing their grandparents. Why not? Because the way they were raised. Because of what they saw growing up. Because that single mother chose that wrong man for her life. And that man was doing all kind of wrongdoings in the house. I ain't even gonna list the possibilities. We know the possibilities that could be going on in the house. The mother is blinded to this fact. She's thinking, he's a good man. He loved me. He treated me well. He made sure the bills were paid. You know, what more could I ask for? What more could I ask for, instead of needing this man to love my children, pouring to my children, having this bond with my children? What more could I ask for? So now you wondering why don't my child want me to see my grandbabies? Hello. Why don't my child want my babies to see their grandparents? Because the child knows. The child know that the parents ain't about the right. Their single mother, that single, powerful, independent woman ain't about the right. She got this man that was good for her but wasn't good for us. And she don't understand the effect that it had on us. So now what are you doing? You say you're breaking the generational curse, right? But this is an example of the generational curse continuing. Because you treated your child like they weren't a priority. So now they're starting over all from the very beginning. My parent didn't treat me with love. I'm going to make sure I love my child. And now the cycle continues. So now that child is not going to deal with their parents, and they're going to have to figure out how to be a parent to their child. But they are starting from scratch. You got to understand this. They're starting from scratch because you didn't show them how to be a good parent. You didn't show that young lady how to be a good mother, because you chose a man over your children. You chose a man that wasn't good for your children. the cycle continues. And we wonder why these generations don't have what the previous generations had, our ancestors had. All these big reunions, all this family this big family connection, all this togetherness, all this love. Because Big Mama was doing what Big Mama needed to do, and she made sure that Granddaddy was taking care of what he needed to do to take care of the house. They played as a team. You are one, and then you come together to become one as well. You can't date a man, have one and one, and come together and still have one and one. So you still got two, which means what? You're still divided. Come on now. You're still divided. Because at the end of the day, what you gonna say? This is my family, me and my children. And this is my family, me and my husband. It don't work like that. How you gonna have a divided household? How you gonna have a divided household? Come on now. So I love my single mothers. Y'all are strong. Y'all are wise. You know, y'all are a great deal to our community. Thus is true. I'm not saying that fathers are right in this role, because obviously you're a single mother. So the man somewhere somehow walked away or is gone. I don't know every scenario, so I'm not going to bash men. And I hope no one is thinking that I'm bashing women, because I'm not. I love women. I love women. I love single mothers. So I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just trying to get it through single mothers' head. I'm trying to help the community. I'm trying to help our women understand that their decisions affect our children. When I see, and it's more effective than the man when you're there, for sure, because you are there. So when the man that leaves, the coward that leaves, or for whatever reason that he leaves, because a man is not per se a coward that leaves for many of reasons. Some men don't know that they even have a child. Sometimes you have a conversation where it was agreed upon that you were going to do what you were going to do about the child, which stems back to he didn't know he had a child. Like, there are many reasons why a man is not there, and it's understandable why he's not there. But for the men that do know his child or his children, and he walked away because he's a coward, because the woman didn't want to be with him no more, or he met a new woman, so now he's playing daddy over here. I get them are cowards. For sure, them men right there are cowards. And again, I'm not bashing men. Men for sure need to step up and do better. Especially the ones that are fathers and are the ones that aspire to be fathers. Step up and do better. However, for this example, women that are more effective in the life of the children, because they are actually there. I'm trying to really tap in and stimulate the single mother's mental, to encourage them to really think. Like, think about what they're doing. Think about them actions. Think about every action you take is going to affect your child or your children. Every action you take is going to affect them. So I want single mothers to think about that. Your children see everything you do. They watching when you think they're not watching. They're listening when you think they're not listening. So you need to do the best you possibly can to set them up for their future. That's our job as parents. Keep our children safe, pour into them abundantly, until that cup run over, and keep pouring some more, and set them up for their future. Set them up to be the most successful and the most well-off that you possibly can. That's our job as parents. You know, like, it's plenty of bullets and asterisks you can put as far as a parent. However, at the end of the day, keep our children safe, pour into them, and set them up for their future. Like, we have to do that as parents. And I feel like as single mothers, when you're choosing a man you're dating, when you're choosing a man to bring in your life for you and your children, you have to pick with your children in mind. It's not an option if they want to be a father or not. That's a requirement. When you come in here, you have to be ready to be a daddy. You have to be ready to be a father. Now, I'm not saying that you're obligated. This is not an obligation, obviously, because these aren't your children. But this is a requirement. So with the single women, when they putting out into the world or putting out to these men or that man, what they're putting out, it shouldn't be a forceful or like a coercive thing that they're doing to make a man want to be a father. What you're putting out there should make a man excited to be a part of that life, to be a part of your life and your children's life. It should make them want to be that dad for them. Excited. Like it's a promotion. Like if it's a job, like it's a promotion, not a demotion. Like, damn, I gotta deal with this woman and her kids. I ain't really trying to do that, but I like her, so I'm gonna deal with it. It shouldn't be like that. It should, it should be a little more exciting. Like, man, I met this lady, man. I have this woman. She's a nice lady, real respectable. On her stuff, she got these 3 beautiful children, these 2 beautiful children, this 1 beautiful child, however many she had. She got this beautiful child. The dad in her life. You're like, I really could see myself filling that role for the woman and for the child. I really could see that connection that I could bring and, to help this family, succeed and so on and so on. That's what a woman should be putting out there in the world to encourage a man to want to do something like that. You know what I mean? She shouldn't be trying to force a man to do something. She should encourage a man based off what she's putting out there to make a man want to be a father and a husband or a boyfriend. Marriage is, if you believe in marriage, to be a husband. If you don't, to be a boyfriend, to be a partner, to be a mate, a power couple, whatever it is. It should be encouraged. Another thing I would say is a lot of women that have children, they sometimes date the men that they wanted to date in high school or the men that they were dating in high school. And I don't mean the exact same person. I mean that type of person. You kind of notice in a woman's life, men too, but again, we're talking about women right now. I'm going to get on the man. I'm going to get on the man too eventually. You will notice that women date the type of man that they were dating in high school or pre-children. That man that, that man. They want to date that man. And sometimes you realize you want that man, but you need that man. And that comes with maturity. Unfortunately, it usually comes with a broken home. Unfortunately, but that's okay, because everything that's broken typically can be fixed, right? Everything that's typically broken can typically be fixed. So that's okay. Now you get a second chance. But is this second chance going to be the same as the first time? Or you better turn around and do the same thing, keep dating the same men you were dating in high school? You knew they were no good, but you still wanted it. Single mothers, you got to wake up. You have to think about your future. You have to think about your children's future. And if you're talking about generational curses, you have to actually start trying to break the curses, not to continue the cycle. I want y'all to know I love y'all. I have much respect for y'all. I just want y'all to know that now is the time to understand that even though we're living in the present, we're living in the future. Make your children your priority. They come before you. And so until next time, I'm out. Y'all stay safe. Thanks for tuning in to Straight Bourbon Talk. Be at it. Cheers.
Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me.